Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today here at MadWorldTarot. It is a Monday as I'm doing these readings, and today we are treading on potentially unholy ground, just potentially, and we are testing the energy of some rather strange symbolism that has shown up in royal and royal adjacent circles recently. So the thing that I'm looking at in this reading with the Tarot of the Abyss, because it is potentially a dark subject, the thing I'm looking at is the King's portrait. His official portrait, which was unveiled a few days ago, caused quite a stir. Of course, King Charles wearing his Welsh Guards uniform, very red uniform, and a very red painting. Red background. The king, his face kind of floating in what some people have described as a bloodbath, with a butterfly hovering above his right shoulder. Symbol of renewal. As I say, it caused quite a stir because people took against it quite strongly in some circles, and there's all kinds of theories and rumors and speculation about it. Some people are speculating about the quality of the king's skin and whether you can maybe see some scales there, and if you turn the portrait upside down and you put two together side by side, old Scratch himself appears, which is rather disturbing. So that's the background. I'm trying to pick my words carefully. I'm trying to tread very carefully with this for obvious reasons. I'm going to do a little 5-card reading, and we're going to see what's going on. First of all, we want to know how the king honestly felt about this portrait. Was he thrilled and delighted? And that's fantastic, thanks. I'll hang it over my bed, or is it put a cloth over it and never let me see it again? What's the public message that this painting is trying to convey? And then we want to know if there's some kind of hidden and more sinister symbolism at work here, because of course with tarot we test energy, and energy is very often hidden. So we want to know, and that's why we have a dark tarot, in case there is something a little bit sinister at work here. We just want to know. And then outcome, I want to know how this portrait is going to be regarded in the years to come. Is it going to be burnt on a pyre, or is it going to be hailed as a work of genius? What's going to happen to it down the road? One more shuffle, and then we're good to go. A little 5-card reading. Whoops, cards flying now. There we go. Flying cards. That one. And one over there. Let's see. Let's remind you, very important, that this is just tarot, and it is just fun and entertainment, and it is just speculation and my opinion, and I'm just reading energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. I personally, with things like this, don't really have a strong opinion either way. It's neutral is a good place to be sometimes. So we'll see what the energy has to tell us. And as I say, from me as a reader, it's hopefully as neutral as can be. We have the Justice card in reverse here, which is interesting, because it's about your karma. Try to find the right word. It's about karma. It's about your the scales of justice, how your soul is weighed. Fiddling with the cards. How your soul is weighed when you get to the other side. And the soul is being weighed here, and it's not well balanced. Something here that is awry in the energy, as is something awry in the way that the cards are appearing on screen, as opposed to how they're appearing on the tarot table. Interesting, because they're quite out of kilter down here, and yet on screen they are now more or less equally spaced. Strange. That's a strange card to show up, because as I say, it's giving me that the soul being weighed against a feather kind of an energy. So it's pretty dark energy. has to be said. Situation we're dealing with. We're dealing with the Three of Swords in reverse. And what an interesting depiction of the Three of Swords, because what do we have? We have butterflies, sort of, flying things anyway. And we have sword, and there is a sword in this painting. And the Three of Swords traditionally is a heart that is shown, that's the Rider-Waite's depiction of the Three of Swords, a heart that is shown with three swords through it, a very bloody image. This painting has a message about, I would say, and we'll see what comes through, but right now it's giving me this notion of past betrayals, past treacheries, past heartache, guilt, maybe. Now, I don't know whether it's a conscious thing or what it is. We'll find out. But that's what's coming through, and I'm sure you all know where I'm heading with that. I don't want to articulate it too clearly right now because I'm not really in the reading proper yet. Let's get into the reading proper. How did the king really feel when he saw it? Page of Cups is interesting, especially in this dark tarot, because it's somebody small and Richard who's cowering there while the stormy seas batter the boat, or wherever this little Page of Cups is. Emotional turmoil, trying to damp it down. The Page of Cups is very often an apology, something or a message of love, of loyalty, of friendship, of caring. I think it's not shock horror. Okay, let's clarify that. It's not shock horror. It's just potentially evoking an emotional response, bringing up, for me in this context, quite turbulent memories, things that there might be some degree of trauma around. And I'm not trying to assign guilt. I'm not guest speaker in the comment section on the New York Post pointing fingers at people here. I'm trying to be very even-handed in this reading. It feels to me it's very important for me to be very even-handed. I have the Justice card in reverse as the underlying energy of this, of perhaps if there is some injustice, I might be misinterpreting the injustice right now. So the injustice could be quite different, and it could be the sense that the king himself has been treated unfairly in his past and has been through this purgatory, has been through this bloodletting, this bloodbath, and has emerged, and that's why the butterfly. So both are possible interpretations of the energy that's coming through. So what's the direct message that the artist has for us as the viewers? She's shown up. Okay. So I'm trying to tread delicately through this, and Queen of Cups has shown up. And of course the Queen of Cups in reverse would be Princess Diana. And again, I'm being told there's a very strong message that's coming through to me. Don't pick sides in this. I said very clearly at the beginning of this reading that I'm neutral about this painting. I'm neutral about this Queen of Cups as well, and about this Three of Swords, and about this Justice card, because it takes two to tango, and this is the message. This is the message. This is someone who's been through it. Whether he was in the right or in the wrong, is someone who has been through it. So, and there are, of course, there is another Queen of Cups, Camilla, who is a Queen of Cups too. She's a Cancerian as well. And there's some, well, there was a scandal with the king when he was still the prince and they had their phones hacked, and we won't go there, but that is also referenced when people talk about this painting, the symbolism of the red in the painting. I don't want to go there, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's a very interesting energy that's come through. How about the sinister, hidden, let's call it devilish energy? I don't want to use too strong terminology here because of the machine that censors us all. So what about that undercurrent that people are picking up on and are questioning and very disturbed by? I've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Pentacles can of course raise eyebrows in this kind of context, especially when they're in reverse, and people might think that there's some sort of working going on here. Again, choosing my words delicately. It's not coming through hugely for me, that kind of energy. It did in the previous reading that I did about the cross that was worn in Nigeria. But this is coming through more as people maybe, it's interesting, it's two and it's in reverse. It's when there are the two and they're in reverse that people see the thing and get freaked out. And it is freaky. I've seen it, and it is freaky. It's like, oh my word. I'm not that disturbed by it. Not with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's more just literally telling us, well, you put two of these together and turn them upside down, and well, it's now out of balance. It's now distorted. It's now giving a disturbed view. I think the messaging in this portrait is very clearly, because it's such consistent energy, it's very clearly about what happened with Princess Diana. Whoever side you're on in the story. I think this is minor. I think it's just not a mistake, just a coincidence almost. That's what's coming through for me. I'm not being pointed in the direction of a sinister and very dark energy. Not right now. How are people going to view this painting in the future? What are they going to make of it? What's its legacy going to be? Don't like it, reject it. No. Don't want to see it. It might just disappear. There was a portrait of Catherine, I think. It was a very unfortunate portrait that was done of her, which I think disappeared as well. Very unflattering. And this one, it's a rejection card, the Four of Cups. This is, no, sorry, don't like it, pass. I think it's going to go straight down into the basement and be hidden away, and perhaps in 20 years' time some novelist or AI even is going to write a very dark and twisted story about the painting that's discovered down in the dungeon. It's not going to be popular, it's not going to be received well, and it will disappear under a very big dark piece of cloth, as far as I can tell. So that's your reading. I wouldn't read too much into it, the portrait, in terms of the horror aspect of it and the dark aspect of it. It's horrible enough in terms of the emotion that it's depicting, and that is why it was painted with that red. For all he says, oh well, it's the Welsh Guard uniform that kind of just dripped out onto the canvas and into the background. No, he's telling a very powerful message about the Queen of Cups and the Three of Swords and the Page of Cups and the Justice card in reverse. That is your reading, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.